Gerald Zeltman is a professor of marketing at Harvard Business School. He makes a study of how our brains process information from vision, touch, sound and smell.
The senses are important partly as a source of metaphor for us. They have great meaning. But the importance from a retail standpoint is, I think, best illustrated by the answer to a simple question is, why do we have senses? Why do we have the capacity to smell, to touch, to hear, to see, to taste? And the answer is to understand our world. And we're just beginning to understand how to engineer sensory experiences in a retail setting.
The first technique used by retailers to set a mood in stores was music. In trendy fashion stores, loud pop music sends out a signal that fits the brand message of the company. Whereas in a supermarket, the music is designed to slow you down, relax you, and keep you there longer. Scientists are now discovering that smell may influence buying behavior more than previously thought. The reason is our brain processes smell more quickly than the other senses. Smell is the new frontier in retailing.
The sense of smell is important to retailers for a number of reasons. Not only does it register in our cerebral cortex, this is a good smell, or this is a smell of something fresh or not, but it registers first and most powerfully in our emotional brain, or emotional areas of our brain, where a judgment is made faster than a thought, unconsciously. And because it acts so quickly in the areas where unconscious thought lives, it has a major influence on our behavior, how long we want to stay in the store, whether we find it energizing or sleepy, whatever. It does so in a way that's less conscious to us. So smell has become, in an evolutionary sense, very important. It's one of the earliest things that we detect. To go from the nerve endings in our nose directly to the emotional part of the brain requires something like 3 or 4 jumps, in contrast to a touch requiring maybe 1,000.
Because smell is such an abstract sense, very little work had been done on how it affects buying, until a recent study in Pullman, Washington, by Eric Spangenberg.
One of the things that really came out of our first series of studies was that a store could distinguish itself in some way using scents.
Professor Spangenberg tested 2 kinds of scent. Firstly, the sweet-smelling vanilla, and then a scent called Rose Maroc, which has a slightly spicy aroma.
The Rose Maroc was the scent that was identified in our pre-testing as more appropriate to masculine subjects, and it was evaluated more positively as an environmental scent that men would like. On the other hand, vanilla is the scent that we identified for more appropriate for women.
Professor Spangenberg set up his experiment in the menswear section of a clothing store in Pullman. Over a period of 15 days, he tested the scents and how they affected the buying behavior of the people who came into the store.
We found that men evaluated the store more positively under the male scent condition. We found that they evaluated the merchandise more positively. We found that they were more likely to return to visit the store. They spent more time in the store. And perhaps most importantly, from a retailer's perspective, they spent more money. Indeed, in some instances, up to 350% more.
It sets a mood. And there's a process, phenomenon called synesthesia, which has to do with one sense invoking another sense. And so a fragrance might make a particular scene, visual scene, more attractive. So there's evidence that the right fragrance could cause a store environment to be seen as more pleasing because of the way the fragrance interacts with vision. The same thing with audition. Sound and smell also can interact.
Everybody uses music everywhere now, and we've come to expect it. And I think that perhaps diffusing smells in the retail environment could be the Muzak of the new millennium.